This is CJ with the Gold Sports Talk. Wanted to talk about the potential matchup that was supposed to occur at the Summer League with De'Aaron Fox and Lonzo Ball. And I believe that the Lakers just did not want him to go up against De'Aaron Fox. They didn't want to put that kind of pressure on Lonzo, and I believe that that's not a good thing. And the reason why I say this is because, for one, I think that if you're an owner or if you're a team, especially with Magic Johnson, I want to see what he has. Not necessarily that I'm going to play him the whole game. You could just play him for the half, but let him go at him a little bit. They're not going to injure each other. They're going to play a clean game. De'Aaron Fox is not a dirty player at all. I mean, there's guys that are dirty. De'Aaron Fox is not one of them. In fact, a lot of these young players, they're generally not dirty players compared to some of these older veterans you see in the league that are just, that are dirty, or guys that maybe didn't have a certain level of skill early on that had to make a niche for themselves as dirty players, such as Draymond Green. Draymond Green became more skilled as he stayed in the league. He's always a guy that was more of a versatile player, but that's how he plays now. He's actually changed that this year a little bit. He's not as dirty as he used to be because he's seen that it could cost his team a championship, and he's too talented to have to do that. Like DeAndre Jordan is one of the top players in the league. I think he's underrated, and I think if you put him on another team, I think he could be your third best player on a championship team on another squad. That's why he was the third best player on a championship team without KD, and they went 73-9. So when it comes to De'Aaron Fox and Lonzo Ball playing, I just feel like they should have let this happen. People wanted to see it. I think that to a certain degree, Lonzo Ball should have played, even if they're like, look, you're just going to play just the first half, or we're going to cut down your minutes, but actually have him go at De'Aaron Fox in spurts, because that to me is not a good sign. It shows a lack of confidence, and they could say he has a groin pull. I don't believe it. I know they want to protect their players from embarrassment, but sometimes you got to see what your man has, and you got to be able to coach him to that. For example, if you have Magic Johnson there, and Magic Johnson's there saying, okay, I'm seeing, because I don't believe that De'Aaron Fox and Lonzo Ball actually got to go at each other in workouts before the draft. So if I'm Magic, I want to see how does he respond to a guy that is his rival. Why do I say that? Because when you factor in a guy like Magic Johnson, he was in college at Michigan State, and at Indiana State you had Larry Bird, and they were of course rivals. I think if you went back in that time, if they had a summer league and they played, and Larry Bird was going to come up against a guy that had beaten him already, I believe that the coach, whoever it was at Boston, would have been like, hey, look, I want to see you go at this guy. If he beats you, I want to see how you respond to him. How do you play? Because if you can learn something from that. That's something that Magic Johnson could have taken from his response to De'Aaron Fox, whether it was negative or positive, as a player, and say, okay, you did well, you showed up, I like your aggressiveness, this is how you respond, you're not scared of nobody. But if you see him being timid, he's not coming at the guy, he's not showing himself to be aggressive, he's not showing himself to not be intimidated, and basically being able to lead his team against a guy that is his villain, then you have an opportunity to coach that out of him rather than later. Because guess what? When he plays against Phoenix, when the season starts, and they're pretty much in the Western Conference, so you already know how that goes down. They're going to play multiple times. And when you see those games, you're going to see De'Aaron Fox try and eat him alive. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is, man. But that's how I feel personally. De'Aaron Fox had the emoji with his hand up because he wants to play against him. This is what happens. Hey, I'm a big supporter of LeVar Ball and him, bringing his kids to this level. But this is what happens when you got a homie that talks a lot of trash. Now you got to back it up. And this is his father now. So this is basically what's happening. Lonzo Ball, his first year, I think he's just going to get consistently attacked because of the name and the chatter about Lonzo Ball has been so much. I mean, it was similar to LeBron, and LeBron did his thing. I mean, LeBron, if you look at some of those games that he had during the regular season his rookie year, they were trying to come at him, and he was coming back. You know what I'm saying? So especially towards the last half of the season, as he got used to the rhythm of the game, he ultimately became Rookie of the Year. But you couldn't, as time went on, even though LeBron is very hyped, you can't outdo him. A lot of times the best way you outdo LeBron is because your team has overall better talent. That's what it's been for most of the time. And at times, his team with less talent, because of his great immense talent, took over. So a lot of times you want to see these things happen. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see this summer league game, which people were looking forward to. So that's just how I feel about it. What do you think? Feel free to leave some comments. Also, like and subscribe. I'm out.